Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Greninja. What a surprise, the 5th video in a row I think for Greninja. But honestly, I didn't really think that I would make another video for this Pokemon, but you're going to see today something a little bit different. As you might have already seen through the title, through the thumbnail right now, we're going to actually not run Hydro Cannon today, we're going to run Hydro Pump. And we're going to talk a little bit about why this actually is way better than you might expect. Yes, Hydro Cannon is a better move than Hydro Pump. Yes, most likely the Hydro Cannon moveset going to be a little bit better in general for the Go Battle League. But there are a lot of scenarios where Hydro Pump actually can come in clutch. And the main reason for this is Night Slash, which seems weird right now, but you're going to see it most likely several times in this video today. The thing with Night Slash is, you have a chance to boost, and if an opponent is in a range where they get knocked out by 2 Night Slashes, but also by 1 boosted Night Slash, and they have still a shield left, what they usually do is, they're going to let the first move go through. Here we're going to actually get the boost, which is kind of wild. But this basically helps out quite a bit here, as you're going to now see the opponent swapping in something, Drapion comes in, they still have a shield left, and we can say goodbye to that thing. Boom, boosted even, complete one-shot, and we can move on to the next game as the opponent forfeits. And now we can move on to the next one. Very bad lead for us with Noctowl completely hard-walled. I'm gonna swap immediately into my Greninja as we're gonna get out the Medicham. Is one Hydro Pump enough to knock out a Medicham? This is the question here right now, and the answer is sadly no. If we just had a little bit more of damage output, this would be even cooler here, to be fair. While we get now completely hard-walled by the opponent, it's still kind of funny to see how much damage a Hydro Pump does against a Medicham. 2 Hydro Cannons most likely would do enough damage to knock out the Medicham, so for this matchup it's most likely better to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon instead. But right now I'm in a really tough spot anyway in this game, and I don't know if we can come back from this with a Lantern in the back. It's very unlikely. But otherwise I can still talk a little bit about why Hydro Pump is so cool. Like, again, as I said before, Night Slash is the main reason for this, which is kind of funny, because we had so many scenarios, which you're also going to see in today's video, where the opponent just went ahead and no-shielded the Hydro Pump, even though, like, it of course would knock out the opponent there, even though they still had a shield left and I didn't have a shield left, just because they were scared of Night Slash and Night Slash boost, which is kind of funny, because a lot of times, for example, here the health range of this Lantern would have been a range where the Hydro Pump does knock them out, but not the Hydro Cannon or the Night Slash, so they would have most likely let this move go through there as well if I would have been able to have my Greninja still around. We actually still might be able to come back from this game, but nah, there's no way. They're still gonna get to another Shadow Ball here, and this was just a hard counter matchup against us. So that's still going to be okay for us. We're gonna move on into the next game here right now. We still saw a Hydro Cannon, no, Hydro Pump hit the Medicham, which is kinda cool. And we can move on to the next game. Let's see who we're going to face here right now. We're going to have the Trevenant against the Venusaur. Fairly neutral matchup. I just don't really like the matchup against Venusaur. I see more and more Venusaur recently again. I just go straight for the Shadow Ball here in order to try to get the knockout against them, but they're going to use a shield here, which is smart. I'm going to be forced to use a shield as well, just in case there's something in the back like a Lantern, and I kind of want to swap out eventually here as well on the Seed Bomb, as he can now try to catch a move onto our Registeel, which is going to be a Frenzy Plant. Not ideal, but they're going to swap out into the Stunfisk gear, which is going to be very nice for me, as I can go ahead, go for one Focus Blast. They're going to let this move go through. They're forced to go for an Earthquake against me, and I will be able to farm him all the way down afterwards with my Greninja, I think. So, here we're going to see Earthquake coming through. Greninja will be able to farm them all the way down. Maybe we can hit another Hydro Pump in this video. Let's see. We're going to be able to get some extra farm here, and we're going to get out the Lantern. I'm going to swap out here and can hit the Seed Bomb. Yeah, I actually can hit the Seed Bomb, which is going to be amazing for me. And I still have my Hydro Pump stored. The range of my opponent's health right now is Hydro Pump range for sure already, and they're going to swap out into the Venusaur, allowing me to go for one Seed Bomb, trying to get the shield from the opponent here, and I will be able to get the shield from them and farm them down in time. We still have a shield left, we can go for the Hydro Pump, and let's just enjoy this one here. Goodbye, Lantern, half health and still one shot there. This is so nice to play. Honestly, I just had so much fun playing this Pokemon. Next opponent, I actually encountered 2 Whimsicotts as well for whatever reason. Very tricky Pokemon to deal with for this team, as your lead as well as your Pokemon in the back with the Greninja is kind of kind of weak against it. They're going to charge up a little bit faster than we do, so we are forced to go for a bait here first. Now I can go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball against them, trying to knock them out. Let's see if they're going to shield this move up again. We will be able to knock them out, which is very nice for us. So we can swap out now into the Sableye. This is okay for us. We can go for the Zapcan here. You kind of always want to keep a shield for your Greninja, as this is going to be the squishiest Pokemon of the team, but also the hardest hitting Pokemon, as we can go ahead and go for another Zapcannon. This is going to get the shield from the opponent as well as the attack debuff, which is going to be amazing for us, as we are now going to be on another charge move here, and they are going to go for a foul play. I can go for the Zapcannon. This does not knock them out. I think they still survive it, just barely, but it's gonna put them into range where I can farm down with Greninja. And here you see me going into my Trevenant first. I want them to throw a charge move against me, and now I should be able to just swap out, go into my Greninja, and you know already what's going to happen here right now. Greninja has access to Hydro Pump, and Greninja is going to use Hydro Pump. Nearly full health Dunsparce here. Very bulky Pokemon, we can use a shield, and you know already what is going to happen here right now. Hydro Pump is coming through, and we're going to see the one-shot. Bye-bye there. Next opponent here, next Pokemon coming in here, going to be the Sableye again. They can go for a foul play, they don't even knock me out, but one more Shadow Ball is all we really need. And we can move on into the next game here, as we're even gonna go for the Zero Bubble, and we win this one as well. This team is, by the way, amazing as well if you want to run Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon, of course, is better, but less fun. But this team itself works really well around Greninja. Can highly recommend it to you. Very cool team, definitely super strong. Registeel, your Saysop, is able to win the Zero Shield scenario against Medicham, which is really important. Also baits out Medicham, which is really important for this team. So definitely a solid team to run if you're looking for something for Greninja. Definitely something that you can do, and definitely something you should do. Let's see what the opponent gonna do here. They're gonna go for another charge move here, going to be the foul play, as I can reach another Zapcannon here, and I'm going to either force another shield from the opponent or get nearly the knockout. Let's see, we're gonna get nearly the knockout, but they're going to now be able to farm away all the way down, which is not ideal. I can go into my Greninja. I will be able to shield up the move from the opponent, might be a return, just a foul play, and they're going to go ahead and go down there from the Water Shuriken. In comes the Azumarill. This is not what I want to face here. I'm going to try to catch a move, didn't work out, and they have the Ninetales in the back. We just get completely hardwalled here with a backline. Really unfortunate. My only hope is here that they're going to shield up this Shadow Ball. This would be amazing for me right now, as then I would still have, the Hydro Pump to knock them out, but now I'm forced to go for the Night Slash. And my only play here right now is to try to get a boost. I didn't really have that much luck with boost recently, so yeah, I'm going to just try to see how much damage the Hydro Pump going to do against an Azumarill. That's still around 40%, which is wild, and I'm going to guess, yeah, they're gonna go for the play rough here right now. There was no reason for me to play this on, like, there was not a chance really for me to win this game, sadly, as they're going to encounter another Whimsicott here. We will see here that I can swap out into the Registeel, as they're gonna go ahead and go into the Medicham. This is basically how you kind of want to have this scenario. You kind of want to swap out here in the lead, even if it's kind of neutral, just because you want to get out the Medicham so you can sweep endgame with your Greninja. Of course, with Hydro Cannon a little bit easier than, for example, with Hydro Pump here, but we're still going to be able to usually win the Zero Shield here, as they're going to go for the Ice Punch, and I still reach the Zapcannon in time. This is going to force either the shield or the knockout. Let's see. They're going to let this actually go through, which is really bad for me. I literally didn't want to have this happen here, because now I'm forced to go into my Trevenant. Of course, my Greninja gets completely hardwalled by Whimsicott, which is, I don't know where this Pokemon all of a sudden comes from. Like, I actually don't know why, like, people actually use it all of a sudden, but I guess maybe for Greninja, just to hardwall Greninja or something, but they're going to run their own Greninja on the team, so it's going to be an interesting one right now. We're going to be able to go for one Seed Bomb, gonna get the shield, and you know already what we're gonna do next. We're gonna go ahead and go into our own Greninja, and yes, this is not the range for any Hydro Cannon or anything like this for the opponent, not for a Night Slash, but it is definitely a range for a Hydro Pump, and let's face it, we will see the Hydro Pump hitting here very soon, as the opponent only can go for a Night Slash here right now against me. It does not really matter too much, of course, as the opponent's still going to have the Whimsicott lurking in the back. But still, we were able to one-shot the Greninja with another Hydro Pump there against the opponent, which is kind of nice. And we can move on to the next game. We're going to have a very good lead and a very good Saysop for us, a Noctowl as well as the Lantern. You still see me using a shield here just to ensure that we're going to be able to realign. A Shadow Ball going to hurt quite a bit after a while, but we can force the debuff here with a Zapcannon, which is going to be amazing for 66% chance, and we actually get the debuff, which is, honestly, I usually, when I play Registeel, I have to complain about my debuff luck. This time around, I think it was accurate. I think I was getting the debuff around 66% of the time, which is kind of nice. Usually, I don't get the debuff that often, but here we actually get 2 debuffs in a row, which is really nice to see, as now the Shadow Ball doesn't do as much damage. I can get a farm down here, and in comes now the opponent's Lantern, most likely. No, it's actually the Medicham, which is even going to be better for us, as now we can align our Pokemon, and we know already that our good friend, the Lantern, is going to be weak against our lead as well, and we're gonna go into our Greninja here right now. Why do we go into Greninja? Greninja resists all charge moves of Medicham, basically, if it's the standard moveset, and they're gonna go for the Psychic, and they're going to catch a Hydro Pump onto the Lantern. Let's see how much damage it's going to do here right now against the opponent. It's going to put them perfectly into range for a Seed Bomb, and the Seed Bomb is coming through eventually, but I'm not going to throw it immediately. The opponent is locked into this matchup here right now, and if you didn't know, you can actually charge up a Seed Bomb as well as a Shadow Ball at the same time, which is going to ensure me to win this game for sure here right now, as I will be able to just go ahead and go for a Shadow Ball against the opponent. This is going to do some decent damage, and we will be able to knock them out. Let's take a look at the next game. We're going to have Venusaur against us here as well, with our Trevenant lurking here. Let's see what we can do. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Seed Bomb bait. Last time I got shielded the Shadow Ball there, now we're gonna get the no shield against the Seed Bomb. That's of course not really ideal for us, but at least we're going to put them kinda into range for a Night Slash already for maybe later, but we will find out what we can do here. As the opponent going to spam the Frenzy Plant against our Registeel, which is not really ideal. But we can not even get to another one. This Pokemon is so spammy. Also, it's kind of wild how many Grass-type Pokemon I faced all of a sudden. Like, I have not really faced Venusaur or whimsicott at all prior. And now all of a sudden I get like all the Venusaur and whimsicott leads throughout the set. But we're gonna get out here the Greninja, but sadly we're not going to be able to knock them out or like get to a move with our Registeel anymore because of the Venusaur spamminess. We're gonna see the Hydro Cannon coming through right now. I'm going to shield up my own move as the opponent is gonna go for another Hydro Cannon there. And we're going to be able to go for the Hydro Pump. They have no reason to shield here, right? Correct. Bye-bye there. And we're gonna see the Golbat in the back, which is of course a little bit of an awkward matchup for us. So this is going to be a tough one. Basically also mainly... Actually, it all came down to the call from the Venusaur. If I just went for the Shadow Ball straight away, I would have been able to just one-shot the opponent. The opponent had no chance at all anymore. But, yeah, it all came down to a call from the opponent there. Last time I went for Shadow Ball, the opponent shielded. This time around I go for Seed Bomb, the opponent didn't shield. Kinda unlucky, and we can move on into the final game of today's video. And as you maybe already saw throughout this one, we actually had in every game here today a Hydro Pump hit, and this is basically what I also did. Like, I put on only the videos where I actually was able to hit the Hydro Pump. I actually had way more wins as well with this team where I just wasn't able to hit the Hydro Pump and just had to go for Night Slash all the time. But I didn't want to make another video where Greninja goes for Night Slash the entire time. I just wanted to show you all the Hydro Pump hits with this Pokemon. I hope you appreciate it. Like, I hope you enjoyed this video a lot if you're still watching at this point of time. But we can now move on to the final matchup, and you know already, we're going to have another Hydro Pump hitting here somewhere. We're going to be able to go into our Greninja right now, and let's see. There is a Noctowl, and we can see how much damage this Hydro Pump going to do against the opponent. It is going to do a lot of damage. It doesn't one-shot, and you see me swapping into my Trevenant here, which is a weird play, but it actually works out super well for me, as I will be able to still get to a Seed Bump here after, like, basically surviving one move of the opponent. They're going to let this move go through, and now it's a Sableye against Greninja, and I can just go for the Night Slash spam, and there is nothing the opponent can do here anymore. So, this is going to be it for today's video, as we can just spam those Night Slashes against the opponent's Sableye, and we will be able to win this game. I hope you enjoyed all the Hydro Pumps hitting. I hope you have a great time as well, and also this team is amazing to play if you have the Greninja already built with Hydro Cannon. Of course, it's a little bit better, but yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, and if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, check out the videos you see on the screen, and I'll see you then. Bye bye!